Hey everyone, Prodigy here, and I'm here to bring you Meta Gear Part 2 for the Waking Flame, alright? Yesterday I showed you the armor sets that were meta, the crafted, light, heavy, medium sets that you can find in the Overland. I won't be doing Trials Gear just because I'm not a PvE player and I just don't know how good they are, but in this video I'll be showing you Mythics, monster sets, and arena weapons that you can get that is considered meta. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see my content firsthand and help me grow, guys. Now, the first one we're going to tackle is arena weapons. Alright, so the first arena weapon we're going to go over is Spectral Cloak. Dealing damage with Blade Cloak grants you Spectral Cloak for 2 seconds, reducing your damage taken and increase your damage done by 6%. This juicy weapon can be found in Murkmire through Black Rose Prison, guys. The arena Black Rose Prison. Very effective. You just need to use Blade Cloak skill in the dual wield line. Alright? Next up, we have Wild Impulse. This can also be found in Black Rose Prison in Murkmire. Reduce the cost of Impulse by 10%. And it places lingering elemental damage on your target, dealing X amount of flame, shock, and frost damage over 8 seconds. Each element ticks over the duration. This is very powerful for magic users. Alright guys, you just gotta use the skill Impulse in the Destruction Staff line. Alright, next up, Caustic Arrow. This can be found in Dragonstar Arena in Craglorn. Weapon, it's player self-explanatory. Weapon damage by 330 against targets affected by your poison arrow. Very good for bull builds, stamina gankers, whatever. Super powerful set. Make sure you get it alright. It's very, very good. Alright, next meta arena weapon, Destructive Impact. Reduce the cost of Destructive Touch by 10%. Increase your spell damage by 600 for 4 seconds. Super strong for magic users, mainly wardens, mag crows. Really good to up your spell damage real quick, alright guys? Still found in Dragonstar Arena in Craglorn. Next up, Stinging Slashes. This is also found in Dragonstar Arena in Craglorn. Twin Slashes deals 1635 more damage for each hit of the initial attack and bleed. Twin Slashes is a dual wield skill, alright? So you'll be running this on dual wield characters. Mainly this is ran on the back bar, alright? It's a buff Twin Slashes. Very powerful. Don't sleep on it. Makes the bleed hit harder, alright? Next up, the last one from Dragonstar Arena, Titanic Cleave. Increase the direct damage cleave deals by 1550 for each enemy in its cone. This is super powerful against many targets, alright? It's not good in 1v1 situations, but for a lot of targets and good burst against those targets, this does the job perfectly. Next one is the only one from Maelstrom Arena in Hrothgar that I thought was worth it. Merciless Charge. Dealing damage with critical charge causes enemies to bleed for X amount of bleed damage over 5 seconds. This isn't the most powerful one on the list, but it is still worth mentioning. People still use it. It's still viable. Alright, and like I said, it's the only one from Maelstrom located in Hrothgar. Alright, the next one, Executioner's Blade. The first one found in Vatshran Hollows in The Reach. Hidden Blade deals up to 250% more damage to targets under 100% health when you're standing behind them, and restores stamina if the target was below 50% health. I mean, what else can I say about this? It's a ganker's dream, right? This does a lot of damage, alright? If you want to be ganking, you should probably run this. The next one from Vatshran Hollows is Wrath of Elements. Casting weakness to elements to a target causes a surge of elemental energy for 10 seconds, and they take flame damage, shock damage, and frost damage. Increased by 1% each time it deals damage. Now, this is mainly used in PvE, but it's still good to use in PvP, alright? It's not the best one on the list, but it's still viable. So if you find yourself obtaining this weapon, use it. Alright, last one from Vatshran, and the last arena weapon, Frenzied Momentum. This one's probably my favorite and one of the more stronger ones. While Momentum's active, casting stamina ability generates a stack for 20 seconds, increasing your weapon damage by 38, up to 5 times. When you reach max stacks, your next heavy attack consumes all of them and releases a violent explosion dealing X amount of physical damage to all enemies in the area, guys. Super powerful. If you're a stamina build, use this. It is so good, guys. It is getting nerfed in the future, but it's still very good. Alright, brings us to our next category, monster sets. The best monster sets, the meta ones. Let's go. First monster set, Pirate Skeleton. This is located in Blackheart Haven. Adds armor for 1 piece, and then when you take damage to your health, you transform into a skeleton, get major protection and minor defile for 15 seconds. Reducing your damage take by 10%, but also reducing your healing received and health recovery. People run this on a Necro because Necro's passes negate that healing nerf. And it's just a good set to use if you don't feel as tanky, all right? Because it gives you that major protection. This next one is a favorite amongst the players and me. Engine Guardian. You can get this from Dark Shade Caverns. Health recovery, and then when you use an ability, you have a 25% chance to summon a Dwemer to restore stamina, magic, or health every 0.5 seconds for 6 seconds, guys. This is very beneficial for sustain, and it's good for damage mitigation, guys, because this actually gets in the way of people attacking you. They'll attack this robot if it's up before they'll attack you, so it's actually really good on the defense. Alright, next one, Blood Spawn can be found in Spindle Clutch. Stam recovery, when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance. This one is very good for defense, guys. A lot of DKs run this, alright? Gives you ulti regen and then armor, right? It's just a very, very good defensive set. Very good staple in the DKs. Next one up is Chokethorn from Elden Hollow. Mag recovery. When you use a heal ability, 33% chance to summon a Strangler. It heals you or an ally for X amount of health over 6 seconds. This is a very powerful healing set. A lot of healers in PvP run this. Alright, guys. Very strong. Next monster set, Earth Gore. We found in Bloodroot Forge. 4% healing done when you heal yourself or a group member that's under 50% health. You conjure a pool of blood, immediately removing all negative effects and healing the lowest group member for X amount of health over 10 seconds. Very strong healing set, just like Chokethorn, guys. So if you're a PvP healer, you're going to want to run this bad boy. Next monster set's from Falkreath Hold. Damihost adds max stam, max mag, and then when you deal damage, you create a ring of fire around you for 10 seconds, dealing X amount of flame or physical damage, and standing within the ring grants you 300 weapon or spell damage. This one's actually also a very good one piece because you can see the max stam, max mag. But yeah, people run this still. It's still viable. Alright. Next up is the infamous Baylor. You can get this from March of Sacrifices. Weapon and spell damage. When you use an ultimate, you gain the amount of ultimate total consumed as weapon damage, and then physical and spell penetration equal to 23 times the amount for 12 seconds. Super powerful for offense, guys. For damage, this is one of the strongest monster sets in the game, alright? It's very good. I suggest getting it no matter what. Next up, Mighty Judon. Get this from the Runes of Mazatun. Armor, and then adds health and Major Resolve, giving you Major Resolve at all times. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doesn't every class have Major Resolve? Yes. But people like to run this monster set so they have more bar space for more skills, right? So if they can afford to, they run this. It's still a very valuable set. Next, we have one of my favorites, Magma Incarnate from the Dread Cellar. Adds magic and stam recovery. And when you heal yourself or a group member with a single target ability, you grant them minor courage and minor resolve, giving them weapon and spell damage and armor, and then it bounces up to 3 nearby friends, giving it to them. So not only do you buff yourself, but your friends around you, right? This set is very good, giving you damage and defense, alright? Not only to you, to all your friends. Don't sleep on this. It's a new one. It's very good. Next monster set, Molag Kina. Get it from White Gold Tower. Weapon and spell damage. When you consecutively light attack for 2 seconds, you trigger Overkill for 6 seconds, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 560, but also increasing the cost of your abilities. This is used on a lot of magic characters. Alright, guys? Like Mag Sorks, Magdens, alright? It gives you a lot of weapon and spell damage. You know, it's very viable. Still viable. Alright, now for the last monster set, you get Imperial City with Telvar, Zol. Max Stam, when you break free, you cause enemies within 8 meters of you to become feared for 3 seconds, also gaining weapon and spell damage for each enemy hit. What can I say about this set, guys? This set is very good for 1vxing. It's super annoying. It's just super strong. Every time you break free, you stun everyone around you. What? And then you get weapon and spell damage for each enemy hit? It's just so good, guys. It really is. You gotta get this set. Now that brings us to our last category, Mythics. Now the first Mythic, guys, is Death Dealer's Feat. Gain a persistent stack of escalating feet every 2 seconds in combat, up to 30. And each stack increases your max stam, health, and magicka. You lose every 4 seconds you're out of combat. This Mythic is pretty strong, guys. It gives you max stats, as you can see, right, when you're in combat. So if you suffer on max stats with the set you're wearing, you probably want to run this Mythic, alright? It's very good on Nightblades and Mag Sorks. Alright, the next meta Mythic is the Gaze of Sithis. Max health recovery, and a lot of armor, but reduces your block mitigation to 0. Right? This is a pretty strong mythic, although the block mitigation at 0 is pretty detrimental. You want to run this on something you don't plan on blocking, like a werewolf, nightblade, mag sorker, right? Yeah, I just wouldn't run this on a normal build you plan on blocking with, alright? Next meta mythic, Harpooner's Waiting Kit. Dealing direct damage grants you a stack of Hunter's Focus for 1 minute, up to 10 stacks. You can only gain 1 stack per second. Each stack increases your critical chance by 125 and critical damage by 1%. Taking direct damage removes 5 stacks, up to once per second. Alright, so yeah, this is very good in PvE, but it's still used in PvP, right? For stamina gankers, nightblades, maybe magic nightblades, alright? Any crit build for that matter. It's just it's still viable in PvP. It's really strong. The next mythic's one of my favorites, Malakaz's Banded Brutality, increasing your damage done by 16%, but decreasing your critical damage done by 50%. So like I said, this gives you just flat up straight damage, right? 16% of it. But I wouldn't use this if you plan on being a crit build, right? Doing a lot of crits or crit healing, because it does decrease by 50%. But yeah, this goes on like most builds, guys. It's really strong. Definitely run it if you're not a crit build. Alright, the next one's another one of my favorites, the Ring of the Wild Hunt. Increase your movement speed by 15% in combat and 45% while out of combat. I mean, what else can I say? It's self-explanatory, right? It makes you really quick, okay? So you can evade attacks, get out of line of sight, alright? It's just super beneficial, guys. If you can fit this in your build, or you need speed in your build, please run this. It is so good. Alright, so this next one, Snow Treaders. I was debating on putting this in because not a lot of people run it and it's very niche. But while you're in combat, you're immune to snares and mobilizations that can be cleansed, but you cannot sprint, right? It is very powerful, although not being able to sprint is kind of bad. This mostly goes on Nightblades, right? It is very beneficial, though, if you use it correctly. Alright, and the last mythic I have for you today is the Torque of Tonal Constancy. While your stamina is less than 50%, increase your mag recovery by 450. Then when your mag is less than 50%, increase your stamina recovery by 450. Very powerful sustained mythic item, guys. Werewolves run this. Stamdens, any builds that use magicka and stamina a lot, right? It's super beneficial to them. Definitely run this if you can. Alright, that brings me to the end of the video. I hope I helped you realize the meta mythics, monster sets, and arena weapons. Alright, guys, see you later till next time. Peace out.